Excellency Professor Yemi Osibanjo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, all the executive governors hereby present and ably represented, all the distinguished senators and honorable members of the Nigeria Parliament hereby present and ably represented, honorable ministers, mines and steel development, and all other honorable members of the Federal Executive Council hereby present and ably represented, head of our partners, PwC and Vuka Groups, distinguished guests and participants, members of the press. I hereby welcome you all to the 6th edition of the annual Nigerian Mining Week, which we will be holding digitally for the second consecutive time due to yet to be abated effect of pandemic COVID-19. The fear of the emergency of new variants of the pandemic has informed some nations across the globe to come up with some selective restrictive immigration policies to other nationals, and our nation, Nigeria, is not exempted. However, in view of the momentum already generated by this event over the years and pocket of testimonies in terms of developmental strike in the industry as a result of stakeholders' engagement via instrumentality of the Mining Week platform, we have resolved to continue leveraging on the opportunity provided by the ICT as the world evolves under the protocols of pandemic. As usual, this year's event aims at assessing progress so far, especially with regards to how our various previous conversations and the industry policy directives have impacted the sector on one hand, and also to critically examine some top reasons why it is imperative to invest in the Nigeria solid mineral sector. The primary focus of government and all stakeholders in the Nigeria solid mineral sector is to develop a bite to attract investments, be it foreign or local, in order to accelerate the pace of development in the sector. It is in line with the above position that the generation and archiving of verifiable and bankable geosciences and geographical data become inevitable. And it is also on this note that we salute the sagacity of the industry regulator, i.e. Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, through Nigeria Geological Survey Agency, for coming up with Nigeria Integrated Mineral Exploration Program. We hope that the collateral effect of NIMEM and digitalization of mineral titles administration will attract massive investment in the industry and help to ameliorate the major challenges of funding in the sector. Kindly permit me to also commend our host ministry for the giant stride taken recently to proudly launch the Nigeria Barite. Nigerian Barite is adjudged to be of top grade among its peers in other producing nations, and its standardization to American Petroleum Institute specification will position it as a weighing agent of choice for oil and gas sector. This feat will no doubt go a long way to accelerate the pace of the economic diversification agenda of President Muhammad Buhari GCFR and save to the nation the colossal capital flight of $300 million US, which is the estimated annual value of barite importation. We look forward to similar initiatives on other solid minerals like gypsum which are being imported into the country despite their huge endowment under our soil. It is also our belief that the crystallization of the effects will be major boost to the government objective of diversifying the economy and improving the sectoral contribution to nation's GDP through massive employment opportunities that may result from well-organized artisanal mining and value chain development. While I enjoy you all to key into the various conversations of this two-day event, I would like to express our appreciation to the various stakeholders that have sustained this platform. Are our hosts, the Ministry of Mines and State Development. The succeeding leadership of ministry has demonstrated faith in our vision, hence giving all the necessary support to host this annual event. The role of our content development partner, PwC, in using their in-depth knowledge of the Nigerian economy to develop and design contents of various issues cannot be overemphasized. The Vuka Group, as the event planner and organizer, has proved their worth as an international event planner of note. Our gratitude also goes to our various sponsors, exhibitors, and conference speakers, without whose contribution our good intention and plans might not be like a well-designed engine without fuel. We are all immensely grateful to you all. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the Honourable Minister and the Honourable Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, other Honourable Ministers here present, Your Excellencies, all State Governors here present, distinguished Senators and Honourable Members of the House of Representatives, speakers, delegates, exhibitors, and other stakeholders in the mining sector, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by commiserating with the Miners Association of Nigeria on the demise of Alhaji Kabiru Mohammed Kankara, the Miners Association of Nigeria's president. Alhaji Kankara was a consummate mining leader and contributed immensely to the development of the Nigerian mining sector. I would like to convey my deepest sympathy to his family, the Mining Association of Nigeria, and the wider mining community. On behalf of the partners and staff of PwC Nigeria, I welcome you to this 2021 edition of the Nigerian Mining Week. This is the second digital mining week. Going digital, we all know, helps us to keep serving the industry as well as prioritize the health and safety of all participants. As you may be aware, technological innovation and sustainability are greatly impacting the mining industry globally. Holding another digital event highlights the dynamism of the Nigerian mining industry and a willingness for us to adopt digitalization and global best practice. As with last year's event, this year's enables us to transcend the barriers of distance and bring to our local mining ecosystem increased access to event content and connections with a lot more international stakeholders, including investors. The Nigerian Mining Week remains our partner of choice, the Dealmaker platform, and an exclusive networking opportunity for key stakeholders in this sector. This year, we will be discussing its 7 top reasons to invest in Nigeria's mining sector. When you consider the vast array of Nigeria's mining and natural resources, I believe that this is an opportune moment to showcase Nigeria as the #1 investment destination for mining. Over the years, from PwC's vantage point involvement with key industry stakeholders in both the private and public sectors, we have seen the mining sector grow and evolve, both from a policy perspective to the formalization of artisanal mining and increase in skilled labor of practitioners in the industry. So I'm extremely confident that the Nigerian Mining Week this year will highlight that the nation is ready, indeed has been ready, to exploit its mineral potentials, and that it is open, conducive, and welcomes local and foreign investments and investors. Permit me to share my comforts on why I'm extremely optimistic. We are now seeing the Nigerian mining industry take shape with direct focus on the exploration of specific resources, which is a direct result of the continuous implementation of the Nigerian mining roadmap. We are seeing an implementation of the strategy for harnessing the bitumen resource. There is now an increased focus on the downstream sector of the industry, which truly can fast-track the attainment of mining prosperity for all Nigerians. We also see a renewed vigor driven by state governments and companies looking to increase their revenue base by taking advantage of the vast mineral resources. In addition, under the exemplary leadership of the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Architect Lekan Adegbite, and the Minister of State, Dr. Uche Samson Oga, the mining ecosystem has seen increased collaboration between public and private sector stakeholders, which has translated to prompt resolution of critical issues and bottlenecks experienced by practitioners in the industry. In the course of this event, local and foreign investors, companies, financiers, and other sector stakeholders will get more detailed information and concrete reasons that will influence them to invest in the Nigerian mining sector. For us in PwC, we are proud of our continuous partnership with the Miners Association of Nigeria, Clarion Events, and the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in organizing this forum. The success of this event is a result of these sustained partnerships. Welcome and all the best.
Honourable Minister, industry partners and supporters, mining professionals from across Nigeria and the globe, digital sponsors, digital exhibitors, attendees, all protocols observed. Good morning and welcome to the 6th edition of Nigerian Mining Week, this year hosted online in 2021. My name is David Ashdown, CEO of Vuka Group, the organiser of the event. You'll recognise many of our project team over the next couple of days, as we've not changed. Only our brand has been re-envisaged following our strategic shift to enable our business to focus exclusively towards the African markets and to deliver against our objective of connecting people and organisations to information and each other. This world-class gathering, a signature event of the Nigerian mining industry, has contributed to raising global awareness of the huge potential of the country with an aim to attract local and foreign investments and to provide a platform for business conversations. It is important that I share our appreciation to our hosts, the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, as well as our partners, PwC Nigeria and the Miners Association of Nigeria. I'd like to use this opportunity to share, on behalf of everyone at Vuka Group, our condolences to the family, friends and colleagues of the late Alhaji Kabir Mohammed Kankara, President of the Miners Association, following his tragic passing and to honour his memory and his role in the development of the mining industry in Nigeria and his enthusiasm and his commitment to this staged meeting place. To end, I'd like to wish all attendees and participants a very successful 2 days and a deep understanding of the 7 reasons that drive attention to the mining opportunity in Nigeria. And I look forward to reviewing with my team the analytics on the connections facilitated by this platform to drive the engagement. Please enjoy the next 2 days and thank you.
The Honourable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this 6th edition of the Nigerian Mining Week. My name is Cyril Azobu. I am privileged to chair this session, or this opening session, on the Nigerian Mining Week. Before we start, I would like us to observe a mini silence for our former president of the Nigerian Miners Association, Alhaji Kabiru Mohammed Kankara, who recently passed. May his soul rest in peace. Okay, welcome once again to this opening session of the Nigerian Mining Week. Before I recognize all the other persons on the platform today, Honourable Minister, would like to invite you to give your opening address. Honourable Minister, Architect Olamilekan Adek.
Thank you so much, Cyril. I think first and foremost, I need to acknowledge His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON SAN, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting to open this 6th edition of the Nigerian Mining Week for us. His Excellency is online to come on and give his speech very shortly. But before I give my own speech, I also like to commiserate with Nigerian Miners Association on the demise of his immediate past president. It was the president on his death, Alhaji Kabiru Kankara. We had a press conference to herald this mining week, where we addressed the press in my office here, downstairs in the conference room. And he was there, seated with me. To my dismay, just a few days later, I heard he had passed. He was hale and healthy when I saw him, at least looked hale and healthy. But then, when it's time, it's time. May his soul rest in peace, and may Allah accept his him to Al-Jannah Firdaus. I would like to acknowledge Your Excellencies, Executive Governors who are on this platform, Honourable Ministers, distinguished members of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic Corps, heads of agencies and government parastatals, captains of industries, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th annual Nigerian Mining Week, which of course is being held virtually. Although we greatly miss the ambience of getting together in person, occasioned by the current challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, the digital event remains the ideal platform for all the mining stakeholders in the public and private sector to come together. Thank you all for coming to this platform, which offers an avenue for open dialogue between government, mining operators, technology service providers, and will-be investors. This year's event is titled 7 Compelling Reasons to Invest in Nigerian Mining Sector. I can, however, give you 100 compelling reasons to invest in Nigerian mining sector. For starters, we have discovered over 44 different minerals types occurring in commercial quantity in 500 locations, over 500 locations across the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This mineral endowment broadly cuts across the various mineral spectrums. We have industrial minerals such as barite, kaolin, gypsum, feldspar, and limestone. We are also endowed with energy minerals such as bitumen, lignite, and uranium. We also have metallic ore minerals such as gold, cassiterite, columbide, iron ore, lead, zinc, and copper. There are construction mineral types such as granite, gravel, laterite, and sand. We also have precious stones in different varieties, such as sapphire, tourmaline, emerald, topaz, just to mention a few. This clearly demonstrates the wide mineral spectrum we are endowed with, which offers limitless opportunities for exploitation, job creation, revenue growth, and economic development. Out of the 44 mineral endowment, 7 were selected for immediate development. They are coal, iron ore, bitumen, gold, limestone, lead, zinc, and barite. We have also adopted a forward-thinking approach by developing the strategic minerals of the future. These include minor metals such as titanium, cobalt, which are vital to futuristic industries such as telecoms and electric vehicle manufacturing. We have indeed created a very business-friendly environment in the mining sector through reforms that grew out of the roadmap for the growth and development of Nigerian mining industry. The roadmap, which was formulated in 2016, gave us clear policy direction on how to develop the sector, which we have adhered to religiously to unlock the potential in the sector. This is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's determined resolve to diversify the economy, weaning it off its addiction to the hydrocarbon sector. To this end, the ministry has continued to work hard to increase the revenue generated from this sector and its contribution to the national GDP. The sector is also being primed to be a huge job creator, broadening the spectrum of economic opportunities available to Nigerians through the pursuit of strategic policies. It may please you to know that every policy initiated by us has been steeped in global best practices. Transparency has been our watchword and cornerstone upon which the mining industry administered as we continue to foster a culture of openness, which will in turn engender trust among all stakeholders in the industry. Carrying out this mandate through our various reforms is a drive towards creating value in the mining sector that will ultimately benefit the citizens. The ministry has been scaling up the capacity of the sector, transforming it into a strategic catalyst for domestic growth while achieving a high level of global relevance. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to remind you that in July 2021, the ministry successfully hosted a virtual meeting with the 774 local government chairmen, chaired by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The event was part of our mandate to develop the sector, creating opportunities for both local and foreign investors to exploit the various minerals occurring in each local government area, to create jobs and empower members of the local hosting community. This was also to sensitize the local government, which will play host to investors as to their role and to welcome investors when they come in. Just recently, we launched the Made in Nigerian Barite in Port Harcourt as part of our modest effort towards the development of industrial minerals. This initiative is expected to spur the promotion and growth of local content, boosting the economy with a corresponding increase in revenue. The initiative will not only put Nigeria on the radar of the global mining communities, but will also save the country about $300 million in annual importation costs, thereby creating employment opportunities for the teeming population. The ministry will also commission an open marketplace portal that will connect all stakeholders along the barite value chain to a hub that allows for easy coordination, stocking, effective costing, and seamless sale of barite, as we adhere to the Ease of Doing Business initiative. We have commenced one pilot project per geopolitical zone in order to enhance local content along the mineral value chain. This is in line with our mandate to fast-track mineral processing in the country using a cluster approach. Each cluster will be equipped with modern equipment and technologies to support a network of miners, processors, skills development providers, logistic providers, etc. We have operationalized an artisanal and small-scale mining remote sensing monitoring system to regulate and support artisanal mining activities. Through the Nigerian Integrated Exploration Program, NIMEP, we are building a strong geoscience base to enhance our competitiveness as a world-class mineral exploration destination that foreign investors will find attractive. This geoscience information will help in de-risking the sector. Target minerals under the first phase include gold, lead, zinc, iron ore, and rare metals, among others. Delineated areas will be partitioned into blocks and transparently concessioned to financially competent investors. We have also commenced the process of retrieving Nigerian colonial geological data from the United Kingdom by engaging the British Geological Survey to build a national electronic geodata archiving management system to be called the Nigerian Geodata Center at the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency in Abuja. This will provide easy access to geoscience data for prospective investors on potential areas to target for exploration and mining within and outside Nigeria. The BGS will also integrate historical geodata of Nigeria into NGSA and the National Steel Raw Material Exploration Agency into the system. The Mining Cadastre Office, which is responsible for licensing, has been repositioned to promote transparency in mineral title administration. The processes have been streamlined to enable investors to apply online and obtain licenses and leases within and outside Nigeria at the comfort of their offices or homes. We are also establishing MCO offices in the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. This includes Jos, Enugu, Ibadan, Kaduna, Maiduguri, and Benin to provide ease of access for Nigerians. From the revenue drive perspective, MCO has demonstrated marked improvement despite the challenges of the pandemic. It grew its revenue from 2.3 billion in 2020 to 3.88 billion in 2021 as of October 31st, with 2 months still remaining in the year to achieve higher goals. The secret of the sudden jump can be attributed to the introduction of first come, first serve, and use it or lose it. This is in practicing fairness in the title administration. This has helped to reorganize and eliminate speculators and led to the revocation of about 1,566 mineral titles. This has activated many dormant licenses and increased revenue flow into the treasury. We have also institutionalized business-friendly incentives to further make the Nigerian mining sector more attractive to foreign investors. This includes custom and import duty waiver for plant, machinery, and equipment imported for mining operations. 2, tax holidays of between 3 to 5 years as applicable. 3, free transferability of funds and permission to retain and use earned foreign exchange. 4, capital allowances of up to 95% of qualifying capital expenditure. Deductibility, and 5, deductibility of environmental costs. Money meant for environmental remediation will be tax-free. And finally, we allow 100% ownership of mineral properties. We have made the gold sector more compelling for investors by building a gold ecosystem that nurtures value across the entire value chain. The Segilola Gold Project, which is the first large-scale, high-grade gold project owned by the London Stock Exchange listed Tor Exploration. Tor Exploration is a London Stock Exchange company that is operating the Segilola Gold Project. Is a testament to such an effort. Located in Osun State, the project has begun the production of gold. Similarly, 2 gold refineries, Ken Smith and Dukia Gold, these are companies within Nigeria, are currently being built to increase the value of gold in the country for the benefit of all stakeholders. Through the ongoing Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Initiative, PAGMI, we are organizing, formalizing, and equipping artisanal and small gold miners in Kaduna, Kebbi, Osun, Niger, and Ebonyi, Sokoto, Gombe, and Ekiti states. We are also building human and institutional capacity, which remain one of the cornerstones of our drive to transform the sector. We want to ensure that when you come, you have adequate capacity within the country to carry out your exploration work or operate the mines. The mining institutions are currently being re-equipped, and the ministry staff are being trained to perform their regulatory functions more efficiently and professionally. Finally, I wish to urge those who are still daydreaming about investing in Nigeria to take the leap. Our country still provides one of the highest rates of return on mining investment, as our minerals are closer to the surface, conferring the advantage of lower cost of production when compared to other mining jurisdictions. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. As usual, it's always a great delight to hear you talk about mining, and also passionately, as you usually would do. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this opening session of the sixth edition of the Nigerian Mining Week. We will be having an opening address from His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. But while we wait for him to connect, I'd like to also acknowledge in this place, present here, panelists that will be discussing along with the Honorable Minister regarding the theme for this year's Nigeria Mining Week. And the Minister did talk about the theme of this year's Mining Week, which is the 7 compelling reasons to invest in the Nigerian mining sector. And I'm sure you know that quite a huge opportunity, or quite huge opportunities exist in our mining space. And given the potentials that we have and the depth of work that's been done over the last few years, there's been a whole lot of traction we've seen in the Nigerian mining sector. And so we will be looking at synergies that could exist, between ministries to make this worthwhile and make this possible, as we have some of these other sectors coming to discuss with the Honorable Minister. We will be having a very, very experienced and distinguished panelist that will be joining the Honorable Minister in respect of this session. We will be having the Honorable Minister of Transport, who has at some point joined in, and we'll introduce him later, and then also Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, and of course His Excellency Governor of Osun State. I'd like to also check on if we do have His Excellency, the Vice President, all on ground at the moment. The Nigeria mining space has seen a huge traction, as the Honorable Minister has hinted, and all the works around the regulatory environment, key projects that we have seen, success stories around key projects. He did talk about gold, he did talk about berry, he did talk about quite a number of other areas of traction that we've seen in the sector. And this program begins to create an opportunity for you to see the vast opportunities that exist within the sector. And I'm sure that as you're participating today, you would see quite a lot more in terms of what the ministry or what the industry portends, and of course, compelling reasons to invest in the sector. We will take a short break right now, and then come back in just about 2 minutes or so, if you don't mind, while we wait for His Excellency, the Vice President, to come in to take his opening remark. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now live after the short break. I'm delighted to bring up here to give his opening address, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Please welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Excellency, the Governor of Osun State, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, the Honourable Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Architect Olamilekan Adegbite, Honourable Minister of Transportation, Honourable Rotimi Amechi, the Honourable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otumba Adeniyi Adebayo, the Honourable Minister of State, Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Uchechukwu Oga, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Oluwatoyin Akinlade, a country senior partner and regional partner west of PricewaterhouseCoopers, Nigeria, Mr. Uyi Akpata, Chief Executive Officer, Vuka Group, Mr. David Ashdown, First Vice President, Miners Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Musa Muhammad, the Head Consulting and Mining Leader, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Cyril Azobu, honored guests, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a great pleasure to join you as we open the 5th annual Nigeria Mining Week Discourse Series. The theme, Top 7 Reasons to Invest in Nigeria's Mining Sector, is really quite an intriguing one because it really does focus our attention on what has been the main objective of our exertions as a government in the past few years, and that is attracting local and foreign investment to our mining sector. I've not had a discussion with the Honourable Minister of Mines and Steel on the 7 reasons he and his team intend to advance for investing in mining in Nigeria. But I listened to his presentation earlier, and of course the very attractive incentives that he spoke about. But one reason I think is indisputable, and he alluded to this in several ways, and this is that our strong policy, the strong policy and regulatory framework, which we have diligently and methodically developed over the years, that framework is possibly our strongest argument for bringing in or seeking to attract investors into Nigeria. So the development of the mining sector has been an important component of our economic policy, at least since the inception of our administration in 2015. What will be evident to a potential investor is that we have built a robust framework for the mining sector, line by line, and as it were, precept by precept. In 2016, the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, in collaboration with industry stakeholders, produced a clear roadmap for the growth and development of the Nigerian mining sector. In pursuit of the goals set forth in the roadmap, government then initiated an ambitious reform regime in the sector. The flagship of that reform is the National Integrated Mineral Exploration Program, NIME, designed to rapidly generate geological data with the aim of de-risking the sector and attracting high-caliber investments. Today, the mining sector features prominently in our National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, which was approved by the Executive Council barely a week ago. So this is an issue that has had the benefit of the deep consideration of a robust team, aside from all relevant federal officials, but also state governors, representatives of local governments in Nigeria, and the private sector. As we deepen our efforts to revitalize the mining sector, we're doing so with lessons learned from a half-century of resource extraction. We recognize, for instance, that it's not enough to seek investments merely for the sake of exploitation and extraction. Rather, in writing this new chapter of economic growth, our aim is to develop local industries, generate employment, and focus on resource beneficiation to create wealth along the mineral value chain. Concurrently, there's an ongoing review of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007, aimed at bringing legislation into conformity with global best practices, limiting the role of government to that of regulation and creating the space for the private sector to maintain a more expansive presence in the sector. The early evidence that our framework is on the right track is the inflow of notable investments, and some of which the Honourable Minister has already referred to. These include Thor Exploration's Segilola Gold Mine in Osun State, with an initial production capacity of 80,000 ounces of gold annually, representing the first large-scale gold mine in Nigeria. In June last year, I also had the privilege of commissioning Dukia Gold and Precious Metals Refinery. The company set out to be a foremost indigenous refiner and trader of gold and other precious metals. Its potential impact on the gold sector is nothing short of revolutionary. By providing offtake opportunities through the establishment of precious metals buying centers, it serves as a spur for more small and medium-scale mining investment, while its refinery symbolizes its focus on value addition in the gold and precious metals industry in Nigeria and West Africa. A similarly remarkable investment is the integrated iron ore mining and processing plant set up by the African Natural Resources and Mines Limited in Kaduna, which has an initial production capacity of 4.7 million tons of iron per annum, and will scale up to 5.88 million tons per annum. It is significant that within the space of a year, we have recorded a 26.7% increase in revenue generation from 2.559 billion in 2019, that's billion naira, to 3.242 billion naira in 2020. But while this is encouraging, we recognize that there's still a lot of work to be done. That is why this forum is so important. We're privileged to have in attendance so many distinguished experts and resource persons that deeply understand governance vis-a-vis the mining sector in Nigeria. And you're all leaders in this field, and I'm confident that your knowledge, experience, and expertise will provide important insights for optimizing the Nigerian mining sector. I must say that the Honourable Minister of Mines and Steel, Architect Olamileko Adigbite, and his Minister of State, Dr. Uche Chukwuoga, and their team deserve very, very hearty congratulations and commendations for the very hard work that they have done, and their focus and the way that they have used they've used tremendous insight locally and internationally to advance all of the interests of the mining sector in Nigeria. I also look forward to this event serving as a solid platform for strategic reflection, incubation of ideas, and production of actionable policy propositions on diverse issues of mining along its value chain. I wish you great success in your deliberations, and I'd like to formally, therefore, declare open this 5th annual Mining Week Discourse Series. And I thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President would be having a meeting at the moment, so he would like to leave. So thank you very much, Your Excellency. It's been a wonderful time hearing from you and your keen interest in the success of the mining sector. So I would like to appreciate your coming, and we hope to see you again on this platform on the Nigerian Mining Week. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome back to this platform the Honourable Minister of the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, Architect Olamilekan Adegite. I would like also to acknowledge the fact that we have other panelists who are currently having challenge trying to connect. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, and Honorable Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi, and then Honorable Minister of Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otunba Niyi Adebayo. Whenever they join, they will definitely be brought on this panel to join me in discussing this wonderful topic, top 7 reasons for investing in the Nigerian mining sector. So I'd like to welcome the Honorable Minister back to the panel. If you could just turn on the camera. Thank you very much. Welcome, your Honorable Minister. As usual, ever passionate and very, very deeply involved in the affairs of the Nigeria mining sector. Okay, so I will actually have this one-on-one with you for now, as we expect the other panelists to join the session. So my first question really is that since your appointment as Minister of Mines and Steel Development, you have been vocal and very, very much so about the need for synergies between the ministries and the broader federal government. And how has this collaboration, or how does this collaboration materialize specifically with the ministries and state governments represented, at least was supposed to be represented on this panel today? And are there further partnerships or projects you wish to establish with them in future?
Thank you so much. We've had a great cooperation from the state governors and, of course, from my counterparts in other ministries. First and foremost, I would like to thank the state governors, especially the governor Oyetola that's on this panel. Oftentimes, we've had to refer back to the governors because mining activity takes place in the states, where the governors are the chief executive officers, and of course the chief security officer as well. We've had often to go back to the governors to provide support in ensuring security and safety of investors within their jurisdiction. A typical example is Osun State, where the government provided the coercive force to be able to stop some illegal miners, and were able to arrest about 17 of them on one occasion. And of course, that put paid to that nefarious activity. Furthermore, the state governors are becoming more conversant with the fact that only the federal government administers mining in Nigeria. They are there to support us through the, we have a system where the governor nominates the chairman of a body in the state. It's called Miremco. This body forms the link between the investor, the federal government, and the state government. Is to make sure that the investor feels comfortable in the states. And of course, this has been working very well for us. Recently, the Lagos State Governor acquiesced and inaugurated the Miremco in Lagos State. Whenever miners have issues in the state, the first port of call is the Miremco, whose chairman is nominated by the governor. So they have a direct linkage to the governor in the state. And most of the problems are nipped in the bud within the state. Is when they can no longer do that, they escalate to the federal level, and it comes to the ministry. And if you want to talk about collaboration with other ministries, especially the Ministry of Transportation, the rail link between Ajaokuta and Itape, and of course to Warri, which was dedicated for steel production, has now been refurbished and taken over by Ministry of Transportation to provide a mineral corridor for our activity. We are further collaborating with them to extend this line, maybe with spurs at various locations to mining activities as they occur, so that people can evacuate, they can bring in raw materials or evacuate their winnings through the easy means of transportation through rail instead of road network. So we have a good collaboration with the Ministry of Transportation. As for the Ministry of Trade and Investment, there are a lot of policies that are coming on stream that needed a cooperation, which of course we got from the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment. We have this downstream policy, which is actually to enhance the mineral ore that is mined in Nigeria and give it value before exporting it. So we are building a few processing plants as pilot projects within the country. The Ministry of Trade and Investment, Industry, Trade and Investment, which is responsible for industrial policy, they are actually coming along with us on this to give a robust policy that will make access to this sector, especially the processing sector, easy for investors, whether local or international. We are collaborating with other ministries when it comes to environment. Before you can mine at all, you must provide some impact analysis, environmental impact analysis, and you have to get a permit from the Ministry of Environment. So we're collaborating with so many ministries, and of course, I think the collaboration has been fruitful so far, and as we forge ahead. Thank you, Cyril.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, and I think I can attest to that from the much I've seen within the various sectors and the collaboration efforts. Honourable Minister, this age right now, at this time, there's a whole lot talk about the global shift towards renewable energy and sustainable environments in terms of mining practices and all of that. I wanted to share your take from, what your take is really regarding coal, and particularly when it comes to coal to power. What's your take on that? And is the coal power to power initiative still on the agenda for your ministry? And in addition to that, are there any current plans, working with the Ministry of Power for the supply of affordable power to the mines and other downstream sectors in the mining industry?
Well, coal, as it were, remains one of the cheapest source of power currently available in the country, or generally in the world. So we are still using coal, especially dedicated service in certain areas. Most of our cement manufacturers now use coal to power their kiln because it's the cheapest source of energy, cheaper than gas. So I don't want to mention the names, but in fact, all of them now use coal to power their plants. We also have a few miners, kiln investors in power. I don't want to advertise any particular company, but there's a particular company that's generating about 60 megawatts of electricity somewhere around Enugu, which is feeding into the national grid. But essentially, it's targeted at that location because it's going to feed some miners that are working in that areas and some mining companies. Some production companies have been targeted in that area. So we have situations where you have people who are investing in coal energy, that is coal to power, and targeting particular industries within their jurisdiction. So the location itself of the coal to power plant is dictated by the end users, so that the power is not being taken so far out. It's dedicated to those people who are close by, so the network is shorter. But in essence, the technology is becoming cleaner and cleaner. Coal, as we know it, the dirty fuel, as it is called, is becoming cleaner because there are cleaner coal technologies now that reduces emission into the atmosphere. Some of these emissions is reinjected, and of course, they are resolved into harmless particles. So Nigeria is still using coal, I must say that, while we may not export, but for our own power requirements in Nigeria, which of course there's still a lot of gap. We are using coal to meet some of our demands. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. This is in respect of the roadmap and the goal towards the roadmap, and I believe that towards the coming years, 2030. So what's your focus? What's the next focus regarding the roadmap? And can you remind us what the end goal of the roadmap is? And then looking ahead, let's say to 2030.
Well, the roadmap essentially is to develop the mining sector in Nigeria. That's essentially why it was put together. It's just a guide, a 10-year guide, 2015, 2025, of what we needed to do to be where we needed to be. So, and we're on track. One of the products of the roadmap, focusing on the roadmap, is the barite launch we had just about 2-3 weeks ago in Port Harcourt. This is an industrial mineral that is used in the oil and gas industry. And of course, we used to import this with about $300 million annually. We've now been able to produce it locally to API standard. That's American Petroleum Institute standard, to be used in Nigeria and for possible export to other countries that are in oil and gas, like Ghana, South Africa, and etc. Equatorial Guinea. We've been able to do this because it was one of the focus from the roadmap. So when I came into office, I took that as one of the focus of the roadmap, and we've been able to, in about 2 years, achieve that result. Now we've delivered, and we've put in place a lasting system that will outlive our being in office, where production from the mines, processing, and of course the marketing is on the electronic platform, transparent and visible to all. So demand, supply can be met, and of course it goes on seamlessly. That is for that. But our focus now seems to be on, we are focusing on processing. Either though, most mineral oils are exported out of Nigeria in the raw form, and we lose a lot of value like that. There was a typical example where we processed the gold from Durbars. It was processed in Durbar, and then we send them to Turkey for them to refine to LBME standard. Because the company was an ethical company, let me just say that, in Turkey. They returned the gold bar to us, the LBMA gold bar, but also they gave us silver of substantial value, which was part of the Durbars, which happens in most cases. You will never hear of that. You lose that value because you are exporting the raw thing, and whatever you're exporting contains some other elements, which of course have value and are useful. So by processing them locally, we can sort this out on our own. When we export lead, you often have silver in it, you have zinc in it, but we export and say, oh, this is lead ore. And those buying them from our miners buy them as lead ore. Whatever they find inside thereafter when they process, it's their own, thereby cheating our people, and of course the loss of value, because by now bringing the processing to Nigeria locally, we can create value, we can create jobs for our people, and of course, like I said, and more revenue for government. So this is the next focus, and government is putting its money where its mouth is. We are building 6 pilot programs in Nigeria, in the 6 geopolitical regions in Nigeria. We have a kaolin processing plant in Bauchi. Kaolin is an industrial mineral that is normally exported in the raw ore form, and then our industry will buy the semi-processed industrial grade kaolin. They use it in pharmaceutical, it's used in the paint industry, it's used in the cosmetic industry. So we are building a plant in Bauchi to process the kaolin, so that our industries do not have to import this material anymore. We can supply directly to the industry, but also creating a room for investors to do more. But what we are doing is, like I said, it's pilot. So investors can see and then fill the gaps. We're also doing a gold souk in Kano. Essentially, most of our gold goes out of Nigeria, mostly to the UAE in Dubai, where it's processed into jewelries and all that. Now, Nigerians will go back there and buy these jewelries at exorbitant sum, oftentimes 10 times the cost of the gold that was taken out of Nigeria. So we've decided that, look, we're training our people right now. The training is going on. It's a collaboration with World Bank on how to make jewelry and, of course, how to use gemstones. Essentially, we want to add value to the gold that is produced in the country. So we make the jewelry ourselves, and people come from all over the world and come to the Kano Souk to buy gold. So many. We have a gemstone market in Ibadan where cutting and facetting will go on. People are being taught in this as well. They will go back and become teachers of others. So we're doing that. We are doing a lead plant in Ebonyi. We are doing a barium plant in Cross River. And of course, there's also a gold processing plant in Kogi. These are the 6 major programs, pilot, like I said, because they're small, going on within Nigeria, sponsored by government money. This is our next focus. When we deliver on this, we'll be able to add value to the minerals that are coming out of Nigeria instead of just exporting them in the whole form. But ultimately, by 2030, we hope Nigeria will become a well-known mining jurisdiction on the map. Oftentimes, Nigeria is just referred to oil and gas when I go out there, but people are beginning to notice, especially with the NIME program that we had, people are beginning to notice that Nigeria could be a mining destination. And with all the incentives we put in place, we expect more investors to come in and our formal program like the Segilola Gold Project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A well-known mining destination by 2030. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. You did talk about investments and investors coming in, and from some of the comments that have come through from current investors and even prospective investors is the issue about security. There is that belief that security remains a concern. I was just wondering if you share the same view. Is this view or perception accurate?
Well, I must say there are country risk everywhere, but we manage this risk very well. And that is why we often tout Segilola project, because that's one foreign investor who has come into Nigeria and has made a success out of it. A lot of the news out there is negative because negative news sells more. And so this issue of security is overhyped. So there are currently in Nigeria, there are investors that are working and surviving very well, managing the country risk. Yes, within the country, there are certain risks that you need to manage, and the ministry is always there to support, to manage the risk. So security is not a problem as such. Just like I said, every country has the risk that you need to manage when you go in there for any business at all. So in Nigeria, we are managing the country risk associated with mining, and investors are thriving. Recently, a company fully owned by the Indonesian government is birthing in the plateau. They're bringing a tin smelter to the plateau state, of course, to process tin ingots from our tin in Jos. That's another foreign company, and of course, managing the risk, and they're thriving. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We don't have the Transport Minister here yet, but I know there's been some talks with the Transport Ministry in terms of the mining sector and the linkages between the transportation sector and the mining sector. And that is really to support the growth, within the Nigerian economy generally and broadly, and also to support miners to move their products from the port or from the pit to port or from the areas of the mining site to where there's beneficiation and further usage. I just wanted to share your view as well, government priorities in this regard, and especially in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport. Yes,
like I said earlier, there's good collaboration between the ministry, our ministry, and the Ministry of Transportation. The rail network is one, which, of course, like I told you, they've rehabilitated and extended. The contracts already been awarded to take that rail line up all the way to Warri Port. It's about 40 kilometers from where it stopped. The rail line was between Alaja, Itakpe, and Jakuta before. But now the Ministry of Transportation has taken over the rail line. They are extending it now to Warri Port, so that it forms a major spine along the middle of the country. for you to take out your products. And that's why I said, as operations comes up, spurs are developed that links the main rail line from activity to that main line, and you can transport your goods all the way to Warri Port, export them, or even bring in equipment and materials through the Warri Port, and it comes up that main spine. That line is being taken all the way to Abuja and to Kano eventually. So it will form a major spine in the country, which of course will link most of the mining activities in the country with spurs occurring at different levels. Furthermore, I must say that we have the development of the waterways as well. In Nigeria, we have 36 states, and 32 of the states are linked by rivers that are navigable. So what we are doing now is working with a company. It's a private initiative, Cyril, and they're developing the River Niger. They are dredging and mapping now. They are doing survey and mapping because this is even a cheaper way than even rail to transport the goods. Fortunately, if you look at River Niger itself, coming all the way from the ports in the south, it's in the middle of the country. So it's more or less aping what the rail line is doing as well. This is being dredged and it's been mapped. They are doing the survey and all that. So with flat bottom badges that the company intends to bring in, Cyril, they will be able to move in products and move out, moving equipment and move out products along this line. We could have short linkages by road or by rail to the waterway, and of course, they can now transport the goods along the river line. So we have very good collaboration in terms of transportation, rail, waterways, and of course, roads.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, and I dare say that there's quite a lot, and I really appreciate those efforts. Honourable Minister, I'm aware of a lot of things that are going on, particularly coming from the ministry in respect of development of the mining sector. But coming from the pre-conference session yesterday, there was a key comment around information dissemination and how this is really showing how much we're telling our story, particularly in the global space. What exactly is it that we are embarking on to ensure that the Nigerian mining story is told by Nigeria the way it is, so that everybody understands and information is clear? I mean, a lot of good work going on. How much can we do? How much are we doing to ensure that this is available out there in the global industry?
Thank you so much. And once again, let me apologize for my inability to attend the pre-conference event as planned yesterday. I was part of the practice last week. But unfortunately, the parliament is supreme in Nigeria. I was summoned to the parliament. I had to go and defend the 2022 budget of the ministry at the parliament. And if you do not attend, that means no budget for you in the coming year. So that superseded the event that was already planned. Of course, I send my apologies through my colleagues there. I think Olu will have delivered my apology. I will have been there. Well, we're trying so much, and that is why the Department of Investment Promotion and Mineral Trade, IPMT, was created in the ministry. Through this department, we try to promulgate the gospel of mining in Nigeria. We've had a little setback because of the pandemic, because when I came into office, we are going out there and disseminating the information about mining in Nigeria. Like I said, people were attracted most to our corners, to our day. We have Nigerian Day, we have Nigerian Corner on most of these functions, whether it's in Daba or PDAC or any of such things. But of course, that stopped in March last year. Shortly after we came back from PDAC, the COVID pandemic broke out, and then there were restrictions. Hence, we've resorted to this because the Nigerian Mining Week is also part of that, where we invite investors, guests to come to Nigeria and come and see for themselves. I participated in my first mining week when I became minister in 2019. And I promised them when we're closing that we're going to have a bigger and grander one in 2020. That was not to be because of the pandemic. In fact, we changed the venue from the smaller area we had. And of course, we moved to the International Conference Center, which was planned. We paid for it for 2020, and even up to 2021. I hope and pray that 2022 will be able to have this when we bring in people. Because apart from the normal gathering, I also want to organize trips to some of the mining sites. Some people may choose to go to Segilola mining site. Some people may go to the mining sites in Jos and a few places that we organize so that participants who come for the Nigerian Mining Week can witness firsthand the mining that is going on in Nigeria. But despite all this setback, inability to go out, we send out information on our website. We reach out to will-be investors one-on-one, and we are creating platform like the Nigerian Geological Data Center, which is being put up so that investors from the comfort of wherever they are, they can look and, of course, at a glance, look at what Nigeria has. The same thing has been done to the licensing regime, the title in the mining cadastre. We're also going online. This is to make it easy for people to access information or to confirm titles from the mining cadastre office. All these are part of the effort to make mining in Nigeria easy, well known. And like I said, we're striving that by the year, like it's 2030, Nigeria will be a well-recognized mining destination, where I hope by then we'll have a few of these medium, if not the majors, size companies. We have a few juniors now. We have these medium-sized companies operating in Nigeria and mining successfully.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. As usual, very wonderful brilliant comments about the mining sector. And this is a comment from a member of the audience. And I quote, "Our amiable minister, always on point. Thank you for the good work to elevate the mining sector to the highest level." So thank you very much. I think we appreciate a whole lot of what you're doing, and we thank you for this very session. So I would like to hand over to our team, Tracy, to close this session. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.